Hi, everybody. My name is Ken, and this is the first of a new set of videos that I wanted to do here on YouTube. I have had a channel in the past and done quite a bit of blogging in the last 10 or 12 years, but I've been inactive as far as my production of videos and blogs, uh, vlogs, whatever, in the last year or two. For several reasons. I just kind of got away from it for a while. Uh, but I have really felt strongly that I wanted to start up a new portal or a new channel to start kind of processing and talking about some things that are near and dear to my heart. Things that I've touched on in other or through other avenues in the past. But again, as I said, I've just been inactive, and a lot of the stuff I've even taken down from social media. I've been very much unplugged from the social media scene actually for a few years. I'm really never on Facebook, uh, not on Twitter at all. Um, Maybe some of you can understand why, and that's a topic for another time. But the main reason I wanted to start a new channel or a new avenue of communication is just because the big thing that's been happening in my life really for a long time, like decades, but especially in the last several years, is the development of the inner life. Some of these things are hard to talk about because it sounds sometimes kind of pretentious and it sounds a little bit over spiritual or religious to talk about some of these things because, in my opinion, the very nature of the development of the inner life is it should spring from a place of humility, and it should never be from a place of trying to advertise or grandstand or draw any kind of attention to oneself. The inner life really is it's private, it's personal, and it's very intimate and very precious. And some of you that are drawn to that may know exactly what I'm talking about. But the challenge for me, I guess, as I try to record some videos is I would like to share my experiences and some of the things that I've learned uh, because I feel like there are a lot of people out there. Um, I'm personally from the Christian tradition. Everything that I do springs from my relationship with Christ and my faith in Christ. Um, but I'm not just reaching out to the Christian community. I would love for anybody who's feels drawn to that inner life, that spiritual nurturing within yourself, to be able to learn something or at least glean a little bit of information from what I might have to share here. Um, it has been challenging, as I said, in this modern era with social media and 24/7 instant gratification stimulation, the world that we live in where it's notifications and texts and emails, and you know you pick up your phone and all through the day and all through the night, many of us have people coming from different directions. I have friends all over the world. So when I wake up in the morning, even if my phone has been on airplane mode or do not disturb, I switch it on and I have messages from people who live in other parts of the world where it's been daytime while I'm sleeping. So it's a challenge for me to, I would say, be obedient to God's gentle drawing and his call on my life to uh, dig deeper with him and to carve out space uh, to spend time with him. A lot of our different traditions, we have different words for that. Meditation, quiet time, in a lot of the evangelical circles, people talk about having their quiet time. Intercession. Uh, there's a lot of different ways that we can spend time in that quiet place, and there's a lot of different ways that we can describe it. For me, I'm a big journaler. I've been journaling for decades. I'm in my 50s now, but I started a habit of journaling just in spiral notebooks back when I was in my early 20s. And then that switched over to typing on a laptop on a Word document, or some sort of a document on a laptop, starting probably in the 90s, and that's been my primary method of journaling. But I always tell people, there's for me, journaling in the morning, like right after I get up and grab my cup of coffee, is no different than my ritual of brushing my teeth or taking a shower or eating lunch. It's just so ingrained in my life that I do it automatically, and it feels like my day hasn't really started if I don't sit down and journal. I'll get into some more details on this later, but that's just a little bit of an introduction. So, thank you for tuning in. I don't even know if anybody will see this since this is a brand new video, but hopefully we will gather a group and maybe have some discussion for those of you who are interested in some of the same topics. As I mentioned, I am a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. You may see these flags behind me. These are Tibetan prayer flags. That's because I've spent most of the last 20 years in northern India, volunteering and teaching among the Tibetan refugee community. So I've spent a lot of time with Buddhists, and of course in India also Hindus. And even in my area there are Kashmiri Muslims. So again, I am a committed Christian, but the last 20 years of my life, I have lived in the midst of Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, and all kinds of other spiritual seekers who flock to northern India. So I'm at least a little bit familiar with other faith traditions outside of Christianity, and that may be something that we can get into as well as we move forward. So anyway, thank you so much for checking in, and I will try to get back again with a new video soon. Thanks a lot.